People really need to stop the prejudice. There's so much prejudice in this country. I'm only going to focus on where I live in the United States. In this country, there's so much prejudice against where a person lives, what color the person is, and so many other things. But I'm going to explain something. You know, the powers that be, those in control, the government has been going out of their way to keep us against each other, hating each other because of the different colors of the skin. What I don't like is I see videos, okay, there was a guy in Nashville last week and he made a video talking about Californians moving to Tennessee and how they're so rude and all of this because Southerners are very hospitable and sweet. And I'd like to say something about that, first of all, because not everybody who lives in a particular state has the same beliefs or acts the same way. We need to understand that no matter where you come from or no matter what color your skin is, who you are as an individual and whether you do or do not have character is your individual personality. Has nothing to do with where you lived last or even grew up your entire life or the color of your skin. It has to do with who you choose to be as a person. Because I'm originally from New York. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Los Angeles. All of these are considered liberal states, okay? But I'm as far from a liberal as you get. So I would, and yeah, some people relate to me as a maggot. And let me tell you something. It's not okay to let the government and the news have you hating each other, where you would call someone a maggot or anything else. I don't let any of that crap affect me, but I'm just saying, it's pitiful, it's pathetic, it's hateful, and it's unnecessary. We need to learn to love each other and work together to make this world a beautiful place to be. I know they turned all of these younger generations into bullies, hateful. They don't know how to do anything but insult people. They don't know how to have an intelligent conversation. They don't have any sense of intelligence at all. And I'm sorry to say it. I mean, you don't know how many states there are. You don't know who's president, who was the first president of the United States, or any of that information. That's basic knowledge that you should have. I mean, you don't have to memorize all this stuff. When I was in school and I learned geography and, you know, I had to memorize all this stuff. Before I moved to Tennessee a couple of years ago, I didn't even know that Arkansas was next to Tennessee until I drove through Arkansas. And now I know where Arkansas is, but it was not important to me to know that because I didn't need to be there. So there are certain things where it's not necessarily that important for you to know, but you do have to have some basic knowledge. But I'm just trying to say that just because, and I moved to Tennessee from California, so I didn't bring my California beliefs with me because I didn't have California beliefs in the first place. There's no such thing as California beliefs. Everybody is an individual, everybody has their own beliefs, and everybody has their own character. Now, the second part we need to stop is blaming the white man for everything. Now, I was in a conversation where there was a channel on TikTok. It was a black guy, and he was trying to teach people about how you're being ripped off through mortgages and all this stuff and trying to help. There's a whole lot of people out there trying to say, oh, you can do this and you can do that. It's not going to happen. There's nothing that you can do that the system is going to allow you to get past them, okay? But that's a different story. But the problem was he was very prejudiced against white people, and he would constantly be saying things. And so I said something about it. And someone else jumped in saying, oh, your ancestors were slaves, and treated us, and say, first of all, white people were slaves too. Every friggin' color out there has been enslaved. But my point was, I said, excuse me, but my father was the first member of his family that was born in this country. So anything that happened in the United States with slavery and everything had nothing to do with that. So you can't just think, oh, because you're white, you enslaved me, and you owe me, and I hate you. It's stupid. When are people going to grow out of this? It's just different forms of prejudice that need to end. All I'm saying is, please, it's been the government all along. It's not been the white man. It's the government and those in control of the government that has enslaved us all. Can't you understand that? You need to understand that. We need to start getting along. We need to stop insulting people and just being hateful toward each other online and in person. We need to get along. We need to work together. We can do it. We can be happy instead of miserable here. All we have to do is accept the fact. It's not me against you. It's them against us. And that's their greatest fear, is for us to learn that. We need to learn it. We need to learn it now. We need to get along. We need to help each other. Stop this murdering spree that's going on. Yeah, I did check out the curriculum that's been going on in the schools where they're training you to be serial killers. They're training you to be sex addicts. That's what they want you to be. Don't allow them to get away with manipulating you the way that they have. You don't even realize you've been manipulated into all kinds of stuff. You don't want to accept the fact that they're manipulating you and coercing you into changing your sex. You are what you are. You are what you were supposed to be. You don't need to become somebody else. You just need to become the best you that you can be so that you can contribute to society. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what your education is. You can always improve yourself if you take the time to do it. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Take the time to be the best person that you can be so that you can contribute to society and we can all contribute to society instead of trying to live off the government and blame each other for what the government has been done all in the past. We need to forget about the past. We need to work toward building a new future, a new, comfortable, beautiful future together. Are you in?